Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 109 of the Social Liability Podcast, the podcast where we discuss those folks in our lives that violate the social contracts that we all agree to live by. I am your host, The Raspberries, with my co-host, The Buck, bringing you new and interesting stories from the far reaches of the internet. And, sometimes getting stories from the far reaches of the internet is a bit of a stretch for us. Especially when Buck sends me articles where I start to read them and I realize very quickly I can only pronounce about, I don't know, a fourth of the words in the entire freaking article. So this will be our second attempt at recording this episode. Luckily, that story was right at the beginning, so I was able to to scrap the whole episode and start over again. But I think this just goes on to illustrate the point that we need to have a little bit more of a vetting process in some of our stories. But that is a problem for the back end and not a problem for the listeners, Buck.
I'm just gonna have to lower my head in shame for I do select most of the fodder for the podcast here. And I duly apologize. We do need, I agree, we do need to vet these out a little bit better. So, anybody who wants to volunteer to be a reader, please submit your application to the Raspberries at the Social Liability.
No. It's actually, I just did the intro again. It's actually social liability at iCloud.com.
There you go. Submit it there.
Okay, our first story.
But either way, let's jump in, man. What do we got first up on the roster today, man?
Our first story comes from WLWT.com, WLWT5. Kentucky man awarded $450,000 after suing employer over firing after birthday party he didn't want. I love civil claims. They can be so much fun. A Kentucky man took his employer to court after they threw him a birthday party he didn't want. The jurors sided with him. Now his employer owes him $450,000. The verdict was handed down this week in Kenton County Circuit Court in northern Kentucky. The plaintiff, an employee of Gravity Diagnostics, sued his employer after he was fired following a birthday party they threw for him in August. According to court documents, the employee notified the office manager that the birthday parties triggered his anxiety disorder and they had been creating a center of attention that will cause him to have a panic attack. The employee asked the office manager days before his birthday in August not to arrange a birthday celebration as they did for other employees. Then, on August 7th, the employee's birthday, the manager arranged a lunchtime birthday party in the lunchroom, according to the lawsuit. The employee said that he found out about the party as he was headed to his lunch break, which triggered a panic attack. The incident caused the employee to leave the office suddenly and spend his lunch break in the car. The employee sent a text to the office manager why she failed to accommodate his request to not have a party. The next day, the employee was called into a meeting, which he said he was confronted and criticized by the office manager about his reaction to the birthday party. The meeting then triggered another panic attack, and the employee asked the office manager to stop, according to the lawsuit. The employee was then sent home for the next 2 days, and that weekend. He was notified that he was being fired because of the events of the previous week. The employee sued Gravity Diagnostics on the grounds of disability discrimination and retaliation. According to the lawsuit, the employee said that Gravity Diagnostics didn't accommodate his anxiety disorder. The birthday party and the events afterwards caused him to suffer a loss of income and benefits and emotional distress and mental anxiety. The jury sided with the employee, agreeing that Gravity Diagnostics violated Kentucky's law that protects workers who have a disability from adverse employment actions. In total, the jury awarded the employee $450,000 in damages. Of that amount, $300,000 was for mental distress and $150,000 was for lost wages. Do you think the employee was justified in his suit, and do you think the jury got it right, Buck?
100 trillion%. I absolutely do.
Yeah,
I absolutely do. And I will go out and say that although there was no actual physical harm done, this is a perfect example of a 5 on a completely different level. I hope beyond all hope that gravity falls. That's that's really, that's really the long and short of it, because the guy specifically like asked and gave good and justifiable reasons to not have a party. That they completely just disregarded it for their own benefit then. And then when they confronted the guy, he has another panic attack. After asking them to please stop, they still persist, throw his ass home, and then fire him. Of course. Like, nothing about this. Like, this was probably the shortest court case, like, that anybody's ever heard. Like, they like, right after opening arguments, the jury's like, no. We're good. Just send us back, let us vote, and make it official. But I think we've already got like a really good idea. I'm surprised this even went to court.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they went to court. I'm surprised they didn't try to settle this. I am really surprised.
Like they really wanted to die on this hill. That's wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at their LinkedIn page right now, and this is great. This is what the company does. We are an advocate for physicians and patients, supporting them with unsurpassed integrity, regulatory compliance, and clinical expertise. Our pledge is to deliver the highest professional operating standards in laboratory services, coupled with our ongoing research and support, exemplifies our commitment to being a provider engaged and patient focused.
Stay away.
Yeah,
stay away.
Here's the thing.
Do not engage.
Well, here's the thing, though. They say they're, it sounds like they're a healthcare facility and lab services, but I mean, this is their license in all 50 states, empowering individuals to take charge of their healthcare destiny. I'm sorry. You're an idiot. you need to get you need to fire not only that manager, but whoever is your HR director needs to go, and whoever you hired for legal representation needs to be replaced immediately, because they are giving you bad advice, sirs.
Yes. Yes. Do not get all of your actually, let's just get it all out there. If you need legal advice, you should hire an attorney. That's a real attorney, not a Google attorney. Like, this was not an example of a situation where you should get your legal advice from the internet. Somebody should have hired an attorney.
It looks like they do like toxicology testing, but for the bulk of their materials out there right now, it's all about COVID testing. So apparently that was like their main thing. But I love the fact that the main picture on their website, if you just go to gravitydiagnostics.com, the main picture of this lab tech sitting at a laptop in a very cluttered office, wearing a lab coat and gloves, but still typing on the computer in a cluttered office space, not in a lab setting. So you got cross-contamination everywhere. And she's got AirPods in, and that's just screaming professionalism in the office. I'm sorry. No.
Again, stay away.
Indeed. But yeah, I'll co-sign the 5 on that one. Our next story comes from WSB TV Atlanta. Man sentenced for stealing 63 golf carts in 7 states after trying it again in Georgia. A Florida man, Buck, linked to dozens of motorized golf cart thefts in the upper Midwest, was sentenced Tuesday to 2 years in federal prison. The FBI began investigating Nathan Rodney Nelson, a man with 3 first names, in July of 2019 after the Cass County Sheriff's Office in Fargo, North Dakota, asked for help solving a series of golf cart thefts starting in 2017 in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Nelson, a former Minnesota resident living in Apollo Beach, Florida, was eventually arrested in June of 2020 while he was caught trying to steal golf carts from a dealer in Donaldsonville? Yeah, Donaldsonville. Okay, Donaldsonville, Georgia. He was carrying pre-printed serial number labels and burglary tools, according to court documents. Investigators say he stole at least 63 golf carts in 7 states, worth at least $283,500. Nelson would typically steal carts in pairs from rural Midwest golf courses, usually at night. He sold many of the carts under the alias Manson Weber at a cost of about $2,500 each. Defense attorney Laurel something or other, who knows, said in a sentencing memorandum that her client was not able to keep his business going and pay his bills. So he came up with the idea to steal golf carts to solve his financial problem. From there, it became much easier and easier for him to stray from his long-held moral compass. Nelson pled guilty in December to interstate transporting of stolen property. His sentencing calls for him to serve 3 years of a suspended sentence and pay back about $14,000. I don't get that sentencing. I also don't get the valuation of the golf carts because I'll tell you, golf carts are not cheap. And the fact he was selling them cheap, that's not how much they usually go for. And they're saying he stole at least $283,500 worth of golf carts, 63 of them. I mean, but his restitution is only going to be about $14,000. I don't understand that at all. I think the restitution should be whatever he stole, don't you think? Because if you do the math on that, that's $4,500 per golf cart. But yeah, you're only going to make him pay what?
It's almost like $250,000.
They're making him. It's over $250,000.
Yeah, but it's over $250,000.
But they're actually only having him pay $222.22 per offense. I don't get it. But I'm not the judge.
I think that he should pair up with Joe Exotic. And I think that Joe Exotic can use all of his production and film contacts to create the harrowing tale of a man hard on his luck, trying to pay his bills, straying from his moral compass, and going down the rabbit hole of petty crime, stealing golf carts across 7 states. And we can title it, not the Fast and the Furious, for that's copyrighted and taken. However, we can rethink that whole thing and call it the Responsibly Paced and Disgruntled, or we could say Gone in Under 5 Minutes. I mean, we could go a lot of ways here, man. We could go a lot of ways here. I mean, like, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh man.
I don't even know
I'm
what
telling
to say.
you, man.
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say.
Of course, man. Of course. Just put your head in your hands and recite these 2 words. Missed opportunity.